In this video, I'll be ranking each Minecraft tool in a tier list, ranging from the S tier, which are tools you can't live without, to the F tier, which are tools you should never use. I'll be ranking these tools depending on how useful, how durable, and how important they are in Minecraft survival. That means that these tools will not be ranked depending on how they can be altered or changed through the use of command blocks. And with that out of the way, I would greatly appreciate if you could leave a like on the video if you enjoy. And if this is your first time watching the channel, please make sure to subscribe as I'm really close to 1.8k subscribers. Anyways, enjoy the video. At the bottom of the tier list, and the only tool in the F tier that you should never use, we have the clock. With quite an expensive crafting recipe of 4 gold ingots and 1 redstone dust, the clock is in my opinion the most useless tool in this game. Its only use is telling the player if it's currently day or night time, which can be simply done by looking outside. The only two situations that I would see myself crafting a clock in Minecraft is if A, I plan to go on a mining trip in the night time and want to know if it's daytime to come up to the surface, or B, if I want to hang one up in my house for decoration. But even then, is it even worth it? Not in my opinion, and that's why the clock is the only tool being placed in the F tier, a tool you should never craft in your Minecraft survival world. The first of two tools in the D tier is the name tag. The name tag is a semi-rare item found in Minecraft, ranging from a 27.9% chance of spawning in a woodland mansion to a slightly more common 42.3% of spawning in a mine shaft. The name tag's main use is to rename your pets or villager friends in your survival world. That way you can keep track of who is who. The name tag is also a gateway to quite a lot of Easter eggs in Minecraft, some of which include the Jep_ name tag, which when placed on a sheep makes its wool cycle through all the colors of the rainbow. Any mob that receives the Dinnerbone name tag flips itself and is rendered upside down, which is a reference to the developer Dinnerbone's Minecraft skin. The Johnny name tag, which when used on a Vindicator, causes it to go aggressive to all mobs around it, which is of course a reference to the Here's Johnny scene from the movie The Shining, where Jack Nicholson's character goes crazy with an axe.
Here's Johnny!
As the tool is quite rare compared to other generated chest loot, and is very limited with what you can do with it in survival mode, it is placed in the D tier of this list. Definitely useful, but not needed. The second and final tool on the D tier is the compass. For almost 10 years, the compass had been in the game with practically only a single use, which was to point the player holding it to the overworld spawn point. It was completely useless in the nether or in the end, as the red indicator would just spin and point in random directions. You could say it was pointless. Thank you. Subscribe. Although it could be seen as slightly useful for locating the spawn point in the overworld if you were to get lost, players had the F3 menu at their disposal, which showed the world's coordinates with more precise information, meaning that it completely eradicated the need for a compass to begin with.
What is my purpose?
You only point in one direction.
Oh my god.
However, after being in the game for almost 10 years, it was finally given a somewhat useful purpose. As the 1.16 Nether update rolled out in 2020, it saw the implementation of the Lodestone, a block which when right-clicked with a compass, turned said compass into a shiny enchanted version of itself, called the Lodestone Compass. The Lodestone Compass now pointed the player towards the Lodestone's location, and was particularly useful as it could also be used in the End and now in the Nether. Despite the addition of the Lodestone giving the compass a new purpose, it still belongs in the F tier in my opinion, as the F3 menu to this day still eliminates any need for a compass, and simultaneously gives the player substantially more useful information, such as the Y level coordinate. The first tool in the C tier is the lead. The lead was first added in the game during the 2013 horse update and has been welcomed with open arms by the Minecraft community ever since, due to its transporting mob capabilities. The lead also allows players to attach mobs to a fence, leaving the mob unable to move any further than 5 blocks away from the fence's position. However, the lead is quite a hard item to come by, ranging from a 27.9% chance of spawning in woodland mansions and a 34.3% chance of spawning in buried treasure chests. It could also be crafted using forced string and a slime ball. Seeing as slimes can be quite hard to come by in survival mode, this makes the lead a little bit more rarer. Although having limited functionality, the lead always has been and always will be a helpful tool in Minecraft, and it ranks at the bottom of the C tier. Up next in the C tier are the shears. Shears are the first multi-purpose tool in this tier list, allowing the player to shear sheep to harvest wool blocks, as well as having the ability to mine certain blocks that would usually get destroyed if broken with the hand. This gave creative builders an array of new blocks to build and decorate with. The introduction of shears also meant that you no longer had to kill sheep for them to drop wool, allowing for the player to have a sustainable source of wool if they were to create a sheep farm. As wool blocks have various crafting recipes which can be used for various things in Minecraft, shears are a huge staple of the game, and that's why they belong in a C tier. Firing its way into the C tier, and the third tool on the list is the flint and steel. How do I describe the importance of this tool? Well, without this tool we would have no access to the nether, and no access to the nether means no access to blaze rods, and no access to blaze rods means no access to blaze powder, and no blaze powder means no access to eyes of ender, and no eyes of ender means no access to the end, which means no more dream manhunt videos. So yeah, they are a rather important item, I must say. So why am I only ranking it C tier despite its importance to the game? Well, apart from lighting up the port to get into the nether, I don't really see myself using the flint and steel very often in survival mode.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
But on the occasion that I do use it, is either to light up pigs and cows so that they drop cooked meat when killed, or if I want to make a little cozy little fireplace in my cabin in the woods, only for it to burn down my whole house and for me to be left homeless. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of flint and steel, but there's no doubt that it's a helpful tool in Minecraft, and therefore it belongs at the top of the C tier. The first and official tool in this tier list is the shovel. The shovel has been a staple of Minecraft ever since the early versions, being the first tool that was added in the game. However, despite the importance that the shovel is to Minecraft, it really isn't essential to play the game. Depending on the resource of material used when crafting, the shovel speeds up mining soft blocks such as dirt and gravel exponentially. You can also make dirt paths by right-clicking grass with it, which is a nice aesthetic that was welcomed by many players who weren't fan of gravel paths. Seeing as the Minecraft world is mainly made up of grass, sand and gravel, the shovel comes in clutch when having to mine out huge areas areas, but isn't a necessity to survive in Minecraft. That's why the shovel belongs in the B tier, a tool that saves a huge amount of time but isn't actually needed. Reeling in at the last spot in the B tier is the fishing rod, yet another multi-purpose tool in this list that has many uses and is very versatile. Its first and main use that it was initially added to Minecraft for is of course fishing. Casting the fishing rod into any water source lets the player catch anything from sea life, junk, and treasure items. Seeing as the hunger system is a massive part of Minecraft, especially if you're playing in a hardcore world, having the option to easily catch food without having to make a farm comes in extremely handy, especially in the early stages of your world. If the fishing rod's bobber lands on a mob or a dropped item, you can yank them closer to you, making an excellent tool to gather items from far away. The fishing rod can also be crafted into a carrot on a stick, an item that allows the player to ride and control the direction of a saddled pig, which is a ton of fun and totally not abusive. And that's just to name a few things that the fishing rod can do. It has many uses and is certainly a great tool, which is why it belongs at the very top of the B tier. And coming in hot as the one and only tool in the A tier is the hoe. Yeah, I know what you may be thinking, how does the hoe rank so high in this tier list? Well, believe it or not, and all memes aside, I actually believe it does. Just hear me out, okay? The hoe is actually a huge part of Minecraft, and in my opinion, is essential to the game. Think about it. Without the mighty hoe, players wouldn't be able to grow crops such as wheat, carrots, potatoes, pumpkins, melons, and many more, which would mean that we would not be able to breed animals, make certain potions, or have access to certain crafting recipes. Not only does the hoe give player access to farming, which is one of the most important aspects of the game, but it also allows players to break blocks such as leaves and hay bales at a much faster rate. Overall, the hoe is an essential tool to any Minecraft world and is very overlooked when it comes to its importance, and in my opinion, it definitely deserves to be the only tool in the A tier. Our first entry in the S tier belongs to the bucket, another multi-purpose tool in this list, and a very highly thought item. The bucket comes in at the S tier for many reasons, but mainly due to its versatility. The bucket's main use of course is to transfer liquid source blocks such as water and lava from one point to another. Not only can it pick up liquid blocks, but it can also be filled with milk if used on a cow, mushroom, or goat. Milk is an extremely OP consumable that can be drunk removing any potion effect, which is more commonly used to remove negative potion effects such as poison, which can be the difference between life and death. Using the bucket on fish can pick them up to be collected, which can be used to transport them into a nice aquarium for decoration, or making them suffer. But most famously, the bucket is an absolute essential when speedrunning for creating the nether portal at a rapid rate, and as well as coming in clutch for MLG Water Bucketing when falling from a high distance that is guaranteed certain death. On the whole, the bucket is an extremely handy tool used for a number of different tasks in Minecraft, and at the cost of only 3 iron ingots with no durability, makes it one of the best tools in the game, and therefore it deservedly belongs as the first tool in the S tier. The penultimate tool in this list, and probably Minecraft's most iconic tool, is the pickaxe. The pickaxe is one of the most, and if not the most important tool in this list, due to its significance in every Minecraft world you play. The pickaxe allows the player to mine stone, and therefore granting you access to upgrade from wooden tools. The player's in-game experience is then enhanced greatly, as the higher the tier of the tool is, the faster and more durable it becomes, increasing the rate at what the player can tackle their projects at. I mean, can you imagine having to mine obsidian with a wooden pickaxe? Yeah, me neither. Saying that the pickaxe is crucial to Minecraft is an understatement. After all, the pickaxe does contribute to half of Minecraft's name. It is literally what half the game is based upon. And so, as mining is obviously a hugely important aspect of the game, and the pickaxe is absolutely essential to be able to mine, it rightfully belongs in the second place of the S tier, an absolutely iconic tool of the game. And last but not least, the moment you've all been waiting for, at the top of the S tier, and in my opinion, the current most important tool in Minecraft, is the axe. Before the 1.9 combat update, I wouldn't have ranked the axe so highly, but ever since then, the axe has become a staple in combat, as it holds the title of the tool that does the highest amount of damage. But even prior to the combat update, the axe was still one of the most important tools in the game, as it allows the player to mine one of the most important blocks in the game at a much faster rate. Wood is of course an extremely important block that acts as a catalyst for the player's journey, allowing them to make a crafting table, which allows the player to have access to hundreds of crafting recipes in the game. The axe was also given a nice quality of life touch not too long ago, allowing players to strip bark off of wood blocks by right-clicking them, giving builders a much welcome addition to their block palette. Although you don't necessarily need an axe in your Minecraft world, as you can break the majority of wooden blocks with your fist, you would be leaving yourself at a huge detriment, wasting many valuable hours and precious game ticks doing so. After all, wood is probably one of the most common building blocks in the game, so not having an axe is a big no-no. A tool with many uses that caters to many important aspects of the game, such as combat, building, and decorating. It is by far one of the most well-rounded tools in the game, and therefore belongs at the very top of my list in the S tier. And that is all. I know a lot of you will disagree with my list, and that's perfectly fine. After all, we're all entitled to our own opinions at the end of the day. But on the off chance that you do somehow disagree with my incredible rankings of these tools, let me know why that is, and tell me what you would change about my list by leaving a comment below the video. Lastly, if you enjoyed the video and want to see more Minecraft tier lists, I would appreciate if you could leave a like below, as it helps out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new here, so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Thanks for watching.